I'm EuGene Byrd, and this is phase 3 of the Artrepreneur virtual experience. Now, I'm an artist first, but I also do a lot of art-related services. And I had a lot of exhibits scheduled in 2020, but of course when COVID came, they were all either canceled or postponed. That really put a little strain on my income. So I had to rely back on my service knowledge just to keep things afloat. So when Fulton County Arts and Culture gave me an opportunity to create a virtual experience, I really wanted to do it on sharing the knowledge that I have and be able to pass that to other artists and other creators as well. So now I'm going to talk about my absolute favorite business service I provide, which is vinyl decals and installation. Out of everything I do, the vinyl segment really gives me my best return on investment. There are several advantages to getting into the vinyl business. First, it has an extremely low startup cost. It takes up a really small footprint. It's a really low learning curve. You can really be in business within a couple of weeks. And once you have the equipment, the material cost is extremely low. And with vinyl, it's a wide array of applications that you can apply vinyl to. I mean, from vinyl graphics applied to the wall, to glass, to businesses, to gallery shows. You got your vinyl decals, but the same vinyl cutter, you can also create apparel, you can create hoodies, you can create bags, you can create shirts with the addition of a heat press. You can also use it within your artwork. For the series I created, Nothing But a G Thing, all of the text was created through a vinyl mask that I did. I did a vinyl decal, and I used it as a mask, and I painted within it to create that text for that show. I use vinyl to create stencils for my artwork a lot, and it's in extremely high demand. Every single business is going to require some type of vinyl graphics and decals at some point. If you just think about it, almost every glass door has some type of hours, or their email on there, or their phone number on the glass, from inside to even simple things like the restroom. And for me, inside the art industry, almost every show is going to want a vinyl decal of the show and maybe the list of the artists' names on the wall. I do that for several galleries in Atlanta. Vinyl is a great business to get into. I tell people this all the time. It is my absolute favorite because the profit margins are so high and it doesn't require a whole lot of my time to create the vinyl and to install it. I really do enjoy it. A lot of people come to me and they want to get into screen printing and they don't necessarily have a startup cost or they don't even have the space to be able to operate the business. I tell them, get into the vinyl game first. All you need to legitimately get into the vinyl business is a computer, a vinyl cutter. You're going to need some software, and it needs to be vector-based software because vinyl cutters cut along a vector path. You just need a table or some type of working surface to be able to lay your vinyl out. And you just need vinyl, and you need masking tape. Boom. You got a business. Let me walk you through the process of creating a vinyl decal and installing it. And you can see how easy it is for yourself. I decided to build a gallery exhibit wall within my basement studio to showcase my art when potential collectors come by to view my work. Just to have them properly displayed and also to give me an opportunity to really set with them as well. I'm going to brand this wall with the vinyl decal along the top to go ahead and complete the look, and I'll share with you the complete process. I have my design laid out in Adobe Illustrator. Vinyl cutters cut along a vector path. My vinyl cutter is a GCC Puma 3 and it's 24 inches wide. It's honestly the best solid investment I've made. It's kind of like a printer, but instead of putting down ink, it cuts and also has the ability to plot. So I have my file right here. I'm just going to drag it in, open it up into the vinyl software. The vinyl goes into the machine, and then I just line it up just to make sure that is straight. Now I'm just going to hit enter and let my vinyl cutter do all the work. Slight delay. There it goes. It's so cool. Let me give you a close-up. See that blade doing its thing? You can see some of the image on there. The vinyl cutter has a groove that's made for you to cut along. The vinyl cutter did all the hard work. It actually cut everything out. But I have to remove the vinyl that I don't want and just leave what I do want. That process is called weeding. So just a tip, before I start, I like to cut it down into more manageable chunks. I hate to be peeling off a big, huge sheet of vinyl. The last thing you want is the sticky side of the vinyl to touch itself. Pour the vinyl into smaller pieces that's just going to make it more manageable for me to work with. Now I'm ready to actually weed it out, and you do that with what is called a weeder. It's almost like a dental tool to pick your teeth with. And you just dig into the vinyl that you don't want and weed it away, like so. And you're just looking at what you're doing, making sure you're not pulling up the piece that you want to apply onto the wall or the glass or whatever you're applying it to. I'm kind of comfortable going pretty fast, but always take your time. Definitely, there's no rush. Take your time to do it right, because sometimes if you mess up, you gotta recut the whole vinyl. The vinyl cutter cut along the vector path. Did all the hard work for you, now you just weeding it away. It's beautiful. Any vector art you can make a vinyl decal out of. So far, living artist. That's the motto, you know what I mean? Alright, that was it. We got the whole thing weeded out. It's actually a pretty easy process. Now let's put this thing on the wall. So basically I have my roll of transfer tape, which is basically like a big roll of masking tape. I'm going to apply this over the whole thing, and then from there the vinyl is prepped and ready to be applied to the surface. And from here, I can apply it. I applied it over my image, and then I'm going to rub it down with my vinyl squeegee. And if you don't have one of these, you can use like a credit card. Go ahead and get it down there to eliminate as many air bubbles as possible. Alright, I have my decal completely covered with transfer tape, and I always like to mark the center line of my decal wherever I'm going to place it. I always like to just mark the center line of the decal. Alright, now let's get ready to apply this to the wall. Dust is going to make the vinyl not want to stick to the wall as easily, and it's just going to make your install a pain. So before I get started, I always clean the wall, especially with my dusty house. It's not like I'm dusting up in my studio. And to keep it real with you, the first thing I want to do is let's just get the vinyl up here, get the placement, make sure we like where it's placed. It's always good to plan ahead. Just have a couple of pieces of tape on the ready. Let's just line up. We already marked our center line of our vinyl with a pencil. That's the center of the vinyl. Let's line it up with the center line that I marked with a piece of tape on the wall. That's pretty much where I want it placed. Alright. That's what's up. Let's just go ahead and loosely place it. Just to make sure we like it. I'm going to take a step back, make sure I like the placement of it. Alright, the placement is cool. I like it. I'm rocking with it. Now, I need to just make sure it's level. So I'm going to break out my level, find a straight line, and take my level measurement off of that, either the bottom or the top, whichever, as long as it's straight. It's actually good. I don't even have to adjust it. So I'm going to put a piece of tape all the way down the center of the vinyl to hold that thing in place. Put a nice long piece of tape down the center of the vinyl. Let's check my level over here. Just because. Bam. That's why we have our tape down the center, really securing the vinyl decal to the wall. Because I have to be able to get this backing off of here, and for it not to move, I have to have a really secure center. So I got my center attached. Now I'm going to remove this backing off of here and have the decal end up on the transfer paper. And then I'm going to use the transfer paper to transfer it along the wall. So I'm removing the back off of the transfer paper. It's just like a big sticker. Or the vinyl touches so. Okay, the backing is removed. Now I'm just going to rip and joker on off. Extend it. Be really careful. I don't let it touch the wall until I'm ready for it to touch. Take my vinyl squeegee and I'm going to squeegee this thing down from center out. I'm going to take my time. I'm holding it kind of taut so I can make sure when it goes on there, it goes nice, it just stays nice and level. Alright, so we have it adhered to the wall. Now we just do the same thing for the other side. Now I'm just going to remove the backing off of the transfer paper. As we just remove this backing off of here. The vinyl doesn't want to come off, you just kind of press it onto the transfer paper a little bit. That's why we squeegeed it, to try to prevent that from happening. Alright, now we got the backing paper off. Then we're going to apply it to the wall. Hold it out, just make sure it doesn't touch until you're ready for it to. Get your handy vinyl squeegee or a credit card. And I squeegee it onto the wall. Alright, so it's on here. Now it's the fun part. The reveal. It's time to remove the transfer paper. It really sets off a business or a home or your art or your clothes. I really love my vinyl cutter. Nice. Perfect. Alright, so now we're official. You know what I'm saying? It's a nice little exhibit wall within the house. You know, I love the vinyl decals. It makes a big difference. It's nice and clean. It's not really too complicated. And it's a small investment. And it's a really good service. So when the next person come over, I'm going to be like, hello, I was expecting you. Which one would you be taking home?